We are now, maybe, next season, be able to verse this team, his team, Barcelona. We hope for that. But in the meantime, press that subscribe button. You know what I mean? I know the seasons are over, the games are over, but we are not done.
No, we're not.
We are not done. We will continue to give you guys content.
Yep.
So make sure you guys follow that and stay in the loop.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, welcome to another episode of Men to Boys, the podcast that gives you vibes and amazing football. Talking about amazing football, we have had a special one for Chelsea.
Yes, you have.
What a road to success, should I say.
Are you talking about the Conference League or the Champions League qualification?
Okay, look. Champions League qualification, yes. But Conference League, 100%.
Which one was more significant?
I think the road to getting to top 4 was the most significant. I feel like the Conference League was something we just had to win. There was no doubt about it that we had to win that to prove ourselves as a worthy club in EPL. You know what I mean?
Did you have a feeling that you were going to win it from before it even kicked off?
Yeah,
because I couldn't think of another big club besides Chelsea, obviously, and Betis.
Yeah,
that were going to win it.
Exactly. That's why throughout every episode we ever spoke about, I never really touched base on the Conference League itself, because it was always just a thing where I'm like, oh, we have that in our pocket. And it wasn't only until we got closer to the final when I started to be like, had a little, obviously everyone has their doubts. And I had a little bit of doubt when we started getting towards the end of it, because at the same time, we had other issues that we had to battle in the league. So that was the thing. It's like, how are we going to balance this? But I am so proud of my team. I am so happy to be a Chelsea fan. Blue is always going to be my color. Hey, man, we have done amazing, man. The road to where we are now was definitely, I would say, a roller coaster.
It was.
The highest highs. At the start of the season, the highest highs. When Chelsea came out, we have Palmer and the team.
Flying high.
Yeah, flying high, man. Everything is going well. Obviously, with a lot of transfers and loans and stuff that Chelsea did. Obviously, Sterling being there for 2 minutes, and then we loaned him out. And then throughout the season, we got Felix. We loaned him out. And then through the season, we got Sancho. And bringing up players from the youth to play a few games, and then we've seen the B squad playing some games and stuff like that. There was a lot happening with Chelsea as a team where you weren't very sure in what's actually going to happen.
Do you think Chelsea overachieved or underachieved, or do you think they did exactly what was expected of them? I
think to me personally, this is my personal opinion, I think we did exactly what we needed to do. I think we did the length and also how we took everything, our losses, our wins. I think it's exactly what we needed to do, because to me, the team had to learn, had to develop, and had to grow. And I feel like that's exactly what we've done. To other people looking in, I feel like they reckon Chelsea has overachieved, because from the get-go, they would have said Chelsea is not a team to contend because of the last 2 seasons that we've had. So it's fair to say that.
It's fair to say, but with the amount of money that Chelsea has spent, I think you were expected to at least finish in the Champions League.
Yeah,
whether
100%.
It's 5, 4, 3, even 2. And one of them had to be guaranteed. Champions League had to be guaranteed. Being in the Conference League, I think, was a plus. I think even if you were in the Europa League, I think you probably would have won the Europa League. I think Chelsea has a better squad
than United.
Obviously, in the Europa League, they had a way better squad. In the Europa League, I think of all the teams that I could think of, obviously you had Athletic Club, but I don't know how they're going. Actually, I know exactly how they got knocked out by United. They had a few injuries.
That stopped them from actually going.
United, you guys had a definitely better team. I don't know, squad, probably better squad as well, but definitely a better team and better coach, and you have less drama than United.
United is drama, man.
Tottenham, the thing about Tottenham is that obviously they've had quite a few injuries throughout this season, but if the whole squad is fit, I feel like you guys are par with Tottenham in terms of like either players or the way you play football. I feel like it would have been end to end. But overall, I think you guys have a better squad.
I think we would have the better note over Tottenham.
I think so too. With the team you guys put out in the Conference League final and the team you got Tottenham put out in the Europa League final, I think Chelsea had a better team.
Oh,
probably would have won that game
100%.
because United were just terrible.
It's just amazing to see the growth that the team has had. I think going from being your top, like highest high and being an absolute dominating team to then just losing all the time and just can't get the points that you need. And then you be put in a situation where it's crunch time. Every single point matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For your season, next season, you know what I mean? Like every point. I think that really opened up a lot of the players' minds up to now say, this is no longer just a game. This is something we have to now take serious. And it's just having that mental switch in your brain. I'm not here because, look, I'm getting paid a lot. The team is there. What's the worst that can happen? It's having that mental switch is like, yes, I'm getting paid a lot, but this is important. I now have to clock in. I have to do my rounds. I have to put my part into the team.
Put a shift in or something.
And you know what I mean? Yeah. And that was the big shift. In the last 5 games we had in the league, it was such a big shift and such a maturity level within all the players. Because before that, we had, arguments on the pitch, freaking players getting lost, freaking, who knows, man? Like, there was injuries, there was players getting frustrated with themselves, and it was just, you know what I mean?
Do you think they got carried away after the first half of the season? Thinking, we were probably too good for this team and that team, and then...
Exactly.
And then they were show up for that game, thinking, obviously, mentally, thinking they're too good for certain teams, and then can't even...
because you
score a goal. I feel like it was character building.
100%. Because you got to think about it. We were a very young team. Most of our boys are under 25, if not less 25. I don't think anyone in the team besides, legit. I don't think anyone in the team is above 28 years old.
You're right. Can't think of anyone.
You know what I mean? So for them, at the start of the season, that is a complete ego boost. Their egos were above the moon. Now they had to. Yeah.
And there's no experienced player to check them.
So they had to get that just like that ego breaker, that just to break them down and bring them back to earth for them to now rebuild, but then also remember the lessons they learned. Yes, you can be a good player, but remember, there's always a better team. There's always better players. There's always going to be people that you underestimate, but they come and show and perform. And that's something that I'm now happy to see the team understand that. And they work better within that way, you know what I mean? But in saying that, there is still a few changes that need to happen. I'm proud of what Maresca has done, but at the same time, I know Maresca, he needs to bring a little bit more to the team. He needs to a lot of changes, or not a lot, but a bit more changes in the team. In our forwards.
Are you talking about signings? Or are you talking about the way he plays?
Nah, I think signings because
I think he plays good football.
He plays good football, but I think he needs to bring more better players, more experienced players, to the forward line because our midfield it's a pretty good midfield. Like, hey, I have no doubt in our midfield, our back line as well. Man, we're good. We can compete.
I think if you can keep Reece James fit, get a striker. A renowned striker, a proper goalkeeper. I think Chelsea can compete. And I think if these 3 things are done, I see Chelsea finishing minimum second in the league. And I see Chelsea going at least to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I see these things.
Yeah, all these things can happen.
And if none of those things happen, I see them at least winning a League Cup. Yeah. FA Cup or Carabao Cup, one of those things.
One of those things. But it's little changes. Because at the start of the season, I was like, best team, whatever. But mid-season,
crumbled.
When we all crumbled, that's when you started to see the cracks, the imperfections, and things that needed to change. And even though we came out of that crumble and performed great in these last 5 matches or 6 matches, including the Conference League final, there's still those cracks where okay, yes, they performed well, but you just need that extra little bit of
Jackson is not it.
Jackson
is not it.
Jackson, you've been my boy for a while, but please, that shoulder goal is not a goal. I'm sorry. You just can't find the net.
For me, there's a goalkeeping situation and there's a striker situation. I feel like the striker situation is more in need than the goalkeeping situation. Because you guys don't concede too many goals.
No, we don't. We don't.
I think the most you probably concede about like 2. Maybe every now and then you concede 2 or 1 goal there. Sometimes you keep it clean sheet. But up front, bear in mind Jackson was injured for a quarter of the season. But like even when he's not there or when he's there, there's no difference.
There's no difference. Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like if one of the things needs to change, if you had to pick one striker or goalkeeper, I reckon striker is the one to go.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like our back line, I think our back line is capable enough to make sure to keep the goals out. Yeah. Because we have a strong back line and a midfield too that can actually communicate and work. It's just the problems when we get up front. But besides all that, we still have to congratulate the team. We've done well this season. Yes, we made it to the top 4. I know from the last video I said I didn't want to see them in the Champions League. I still have the same. I'm still going to stand in that statement. But I am proud. I'm still going to be proud to see them at the Champions League and see how they perform. If these things, the changes that we have obviously mentioned right now actually happen, then I'll be more confident in seeing the team actually proceeding. But besides that, we've lifted silverware. So
in the Champions League.
In the Champions League, congratulations to Maresca. You've proved a lot of people wrong. You've done a good job.
Yeah, you told everyone to F off.
And look, that's the best thing you could absolutely do. Let's just hope for the next season.
Do you think Maresca is the man for the job for the upcoming season? Obviously, there's bigger challenges ahead. Champions League. Now you're expected to finish at least above 4th because you can't go below what you finished in this season. You got to go at least 3rd or 2nd or even challenge for the league. And in the Champions League, you got to at least go a little bit further than the group stage.
I think.
You think he's the man? Or do you think that there's someone out there that can do a better job?
I think personally, I think he is.
All right.
I think he is the person because he's proven me wrong.
All right.
And he's shown me qualities and lights. I think I just think it's just those changes within the team that can help him and the squad progress further.
Yeah. All right. So we'll leave it at that. Happy with Maresca. I think Chelsea have done really well.
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't have predicted for them to finish in the top 4 because there were teams that were coming into the season.
100.
Like City, Arsenal, Liverpool, you didn't know what you were going to get.
Even Nottingham Forest, Newcastle,
Aston Villa, all these teams were fighting for the top 4 and no one even knew at the beginning of the season that top 5 was a thing. I feel like English teams finishing in a certain part of the Champions League made top 5 thing. I didn't think coming to the season people knew top 5.
Yeah, no one knew about that.
But even in La Liga, they got top 5 now.
Oh, really?
So La Liga and the Premier League are the only teams that have 5 teams that can qualify. Obviously, Tottenham finishing, winning the Europa League also made them Champions League candidate as well. So they got 6 teams. But yeah, look, I'm happy with Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm happy too, man. It's been a good season.
I'm not a Chelsea fan, but obviously you being a Chelsea fan and talking about Chelsea all the time, I'm happy that you're finally happy because there were moments in the season that I was like,
Look,
I don't think Chelsea's gonna do anything.
I know. Hey, doubters will be doubters, but I'm glad that you're a person to see what it is.
I know. I'm happy. If you're happy, bro, I'm happy.
Yeah,
the same way you're happy when Barca are doing good. Same way I'm happy Chelsea doing good. As long as we don't verse each other, then I'll never hate on Chelsea.
Yeah.
But if we verse each other, then you obviously know my side.
Hey, look, now that we're in the Champions League, now we've won the Conference League, there's a lot of changes to happen in the team. We are now, maybe, next season, be able to verse this team, his team, Barcelona. We hope for that. But in the meantime, press that subscribe button. You know what I mean? I know the seasons are over, the games are over, but we are not done.
No, we're not.
We are not done. We will continue to give you guys content.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys follow that and stay in the loop.
Yes.
And until then, we'll see you next time.